18 rings, 6 coins to my name, but with 18 rings then I can change the game. Flip them over, turn them around. Oh shit, look, I turned them into a crown. Make it dance, make it work for you. Coin is for the spending, if you scatter it then you'll reap the profits of the seeds you've sown. What do you know, look, I turned it into a throne. We do what we do to keep the water flowing. The more you give, the more it keeps growing. I don't want your gifts, I don't want your charity. I just want to see some other love and prosperity. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. I make my living by the sweat of my brow, the strength of my voice and my lyrical know-how. I work hard, I spend freely. I'm not rich, but damn, am I dearly placed to take a virtue and preach it to the masses. The fruits of my labor I use to fill glasses. Life is for the living is the message I'm selling. The scent of success is the aroma you're smelling. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. Hold fast, 'cause it might sound funny, but the truth is wealth's not just about money. It's the push and the pull and the give and the take. It's the things that we share and the joy that we make. Give me your attention, I'll give you my time. Lend me your ears and I'll fill them with rhymes. I'll give you words to make your soul burn and take your breath away in return. Yeah. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round.
Hello everyone, how are we all doing? Hey Honey Bunch, where's the time gone? I know. 31 months, and you're on a 31 month streak. That's mental. That's absolutely criminal. My God. 33 months for McBale Jr. Long time since I caught a stream. Well, welcome back, mate. Welcome back. You're always welcome. And a hype train as well. I thought we had to do 3 things for a hype train. There's only 2. Excellent stuff. Well, if anyone's got a spare Prime sub or anything like that, then feel free to subscribe or chuck some bits. Let's get this hype train going. My screen, it all feels really blank at the moment. Hey FM, I've actually been able to watch a live stream. Woohoo! Recently joined the Discord and appreciated the warm welcome. You're very, very welcome. Heavy Bradders. You're more than welcome. Get any questions or anything like that, then please ask away. Ask away. Carolex, I've missed you. Hope you're well. I am doing okay. I'm not well at the moment. It might be COVID, it might just be flu, but I'm pretty rough. So, yeah, 93%. We're getting there. We're rocking on. I do have it set up so I can play Spotify. I do have a playlist sorted. Don't know if I can be asked. To be honest, at the moment, I'm just, yeah, you know. Got the snow and everything. Evening, you lovely bunch. I'll try to pop in with my usual random questions when I can. Excellent. Non-LARP question. What's your favourite type of music? Hope you feel better. I like everything. I literally do like everything. So my 2023, God, and that's Helen as well. 43 months. So there we go. That's level 2 hype train. Wonderful stuff. This is amazing. Thank you so much, everybody. But yeah, I'm listening to a lot of the Dead South at the moment. I get on quite well with Cotton Crawford, their banjo player. I'm in their Discord and I chat to them a fair bit. So yeah, Dead South. I used to listen to a lot of Shinedown. Oh, Debbie Harry as well. 15 months. So many lovely people. So many lovely, wonderful people here. And then me. I'm here as well. So I used to listen to a lot of Shinedown, but they seem to have gone quite right-wing. So I don't listen to them as much anymore. Oh god, yeah, my 23 playlist though. If I go, so what have we got in there? Blackstone, Cherry, Shinedown, Post Malone, Slipknot, Mushroomhead, Robbie Williams, Wilson, Pearl Jam, Gary Clark Jr., Hailstorm, The Longest Johns, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Coheed and Cambria, Roxette, Imagine Dragons, The Offspring, Stone Sour, Creed, loads of Stereophonics is in there, Bruce Springsteen, Oasis, Hozier, Seether. There's loads of stuff. I listen to, Rufus Wainwright is in there, Metallica. Loads of stuff. You're lovely as well. I do try. So I might put my 2023 playlist on in the background because we're here to chat BallGowning of all things. I know, right? What am I listing? That was like bands and stuff like that on my Spotify playlist. My Spotify Wrapped is dominated by a dwarf metal band called Windrose. Listen to the song Diggy Diggy Hole if you haven't. Oh god, I hate that song so much. Add in some camp bangers. I'll probably put on a little bit of my playlist and then I'll change over to the stream playlist that's in music or community or somewhere. Yeah, so it's all there. Yeah, so we're going to talk about BallGowning. So BallGowning is it's quite an interesting one. Might just let me know I'm a sad space cowboy. There's nothing wrong with that. Or not. When the Yogscast did it, that was all I heard everywhere. And then listening to Diggy Diggy Hole because so many people did covers. It was just everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So I just got a bit sick of it, to be honest. I think the last Yogcast song that I listened to done anything was the Hat Films song called Space Fuck. Yes, exactly. So that was the last thing I listened to and was very, very funny. Shame they didn't get a penny from the covers. Yes, yeah, I know. Yes, I avoided the Yogscast stuff. Thankfully, I live in my own heavy metal bubble. I like heavy metal. Don't get me wrong. I got there was one song on there called. Oh, I think I missed it. It's a nice bit of heavy, bit of death metal. Is it Code Orange? I think it's called, by Code Orange. And that's like one of my go-tos. That is, I really enjoy that song. Yeah, I've listened to like 20 songs already on it, so it's not on there at the moment. Longest John's just did a cover. Yeah, I know. I know, but I think with the Longest Johns doing it, they very much. I don't think they mind too much because the Longest Johns are always up at the Yogs Towers and everything. So, but yeah. So, but I'm here. What we're going to talk about is, well, I say talk about. We'll have a discussion about. I want a bit of back and forth and stuff because BallGowning is a big. It's a big thing in LARP. It's about the drama, the personal plot, the love and romance, the familial conflict, and all of that sort of stuff. So, yeah, thank you to everybody who subbed. That was amazing. Thank you so much. So yeah, there's all of that goes on within it, and it creates a huge area of conflict in character and out of character, and it's worth talking about. So I think I will. I am going to go back. I am going to put some Christmas hats on as we're going because I have to. Really, I'll go back to the last one I had on. No, wrong mate. There you go. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, I'm hoping that this detracts from the seriousness of the conversation, and we try to give this a bit more of an upbeat feel, because having a serious conversation is fine and all, but I think in this sort of environment, you need to be able to laugh at stuff as well. So. Yeah, anyone donates any bits, you can tell me to change my hat, and I will. I'm glad that I didn't put the last one on, the Christmas tree one on, because that was really tight on my massive, massive dome. So, right, so, BallGowning. So, a lot of people like to BallGown. I will say this straight off the bat as well, that everybody in Dawn thinks Dawn are the nation for BallGowning when it comes to Empire. They're not. Every nation is good at BallGowning. There are some amazing people out there who really enjoy it and are really good at it, because there's a wonderful thing that comes up when it comes to BallGowning, and that is consent. Simple as, really. As someone brand new to LARP, I've zero clue what BallGowning is, so this will be educational. I've had a few people message me to say that, to be honest, so don't worry about it. This is the place to learn. And reading some of the comments in the Discord about BallGowning was quite educational for myself, because there were things that I didn't think of as well. I am not the be-all or end-all when it comes to knowledge about LARP. No one is. I just want to be someone who is able to point people in the right direction. You know, try to be a bit of fun and a bit of help. That's all I want to do. So BallGowning it's not just about romance, plot. It's not just about if you've got to bring an apple, that's fine. I accept beer as well. So when I see you in the field. So yeah, it's not just about love. It's not just about romance. It's also about that. Been around for over 10 years. Never heard the phrase. So I'll say what BallGowning means, and then we'll go back a long time, because that is where the discussion starts, really. So BallGowning isn't just about love plot, romance plot, and things like that. It's about familial conflict. It's about playing good. It's about you could be the brother in the group who has turned up to cause issue, who no one wants around. He's done something in the past. That is BallGowning as well. It can be arguments between groups over a plot of land, something like that, and it's like it's no plot, no real in-game plot. It is just your two groups want to have this little tension between them. You see, so that is in a very, very basic terms what BallGowning is. So it's about interpersonal plot. So BallGowning was a term that was brought up in the really bad old days when LARP was run by the grumpy old white men who wouldn't know diversity if it bit them on the arse. So anybody who did anything that was seen as different to the main plot of the day, that was called BallGowning. And it was meant as a derogatory term to put people in their place and to discourage people from doing it. It hasn't worked at all. BallGowning is very popular, as it should be. It creates so much more to the game. It adds so much. Is Digby having a go at the Dunnings over farming land an example of BallGowning? To an extent, yes. To an extent. That plot came from an actual piece of main plot that was being run in game with the sinkhole. When it all sort of died down, so yeah, Digby then turning up and saying, I want to do this. I want to run like a smear campaign. I want to get a farmers union together and I want to run this. That is BallGowning. To an extent. That is him creating a personal piece of plot between him and them. The only downside to it is that they weren't very receptive of it. I don't think they were overly interested, and it meant that part of it sort of died down a bit and Digby had to go off and do some other things. But thankfully, the Farmers Union and all of that sort of stuff is going strong. It is really good. It's still definitely a thing. So, but yeah, that is an example of it. There are other examples of BallGowning that are going on, but I will come back to that. So when all of these grumpy old white men decided that BallGowning was bad and they tried to basically make it a derogatory term, which didn't work. So BallGowning is now incredibly popular. Everyone loves to do it. So I am a grizzled old man and I love it. It's so much fun. It is a lot of fun to do, to get involved with. So that sort of BallGowning there is between me and Beth at the moment. So like I say, it's not all about romance. So the BallGowning that me and Beth had going on was I was her dad in game and she didn't know. So we had decided before she turned up to an event that me and her mum had a thing. So I'm not going to talk about the birds and the bees, obviously. But obviously, in game, my character and Beth's mum banged. And that's what led to the piece of plot. That's what led to our personal plot. She found a letter. She turned up into the field. She didn't know who I was, what I looked like, and she was going around asking for me. And she then found out who I was, and it led to some quite intense chats between us. She hated me, which was great, which was a lot of fun to do. And there was a lot of good moments. There was a lot of really good moments. So that is another example of it there. BallGowning as a big thing though, I think it slowly came back, I suppose, in the early noughties, where in places like LTCP, Maelstrom, where there were a lot of like groups like coming up with their own little pieces of plot to try to link things together, to try to build a bond between their nations and stuff like that. So whereas Maelstrom had the different nations set up, they wanted the nation. They basically tried to get international marriages going on. So like medieval times, really, medieval Europe. So that was a big thing, a bit of a big deal, and that created a lot of torment and stuff. So that was when it started to come back, and a lot of people decided that BallGowning isn't a derogatory term. It's not a bad thing. So a lot of people have reclaimed the term, which has been phenomenal. And I love it. It means that you're not just sat there waiting on proper. I say proper. That's a horrible way to describe it. You're not just sat there waiting on main pieces of plot to turn up. You're not just waiting for the big in-game things to come and hit you in the face and then for you to deal with it. You're not just sat there waiting for that. With all of these things that are going on, you are sat there saying, well, that's going on over there, but my daughter over there, my brother over there, or something like that, they're involved in things. I'm going to go and cause a little bit of shit with them. Or you're grabbing someone else and saying, I fancy doing a bit of... I'm slowly getting used to that sound. Thank you for the bits, Joe. Hello. Oh, I can change hat. Oh, thank fuck. Let's put on the Christmas present. Oh, and it's green. Oh well. These hats are wonderful. Seems like at Games Big at Empire, if people weren't BallGowning, an awful lot of people would be sat around bored. I think to an extent, I think a lot of stuff around Empire is, I suppose, considered like almost like a Renaissance fair in a way now, as well, because the set dressing is so good. The tents, the nations, they look that good that people just walk around, they're buying stuff, they're selling stuff. So it's almost like a massive Renaissance fair as well, as that. So, but BallGowning is very... You get out of it what you want, I think is the easiest way to describe it. So, yeah, so BallGowning is as easy as going up to someone who you know saying, do you fancy doing a bit of romance plot? Or even someone you don't know. So when I started Empire as Cernanos, the wonderful, wonderful man he was, the General of Navarre, I got talking to this lady, also in Navarre, and we both decided that we wanted to have a bit of romance plot going on. So we decided that I was going to pursue her in character. We had an agreement in place of this is not an out character thing. She was married, I was in a relationship. So that is as far as it goes. It always comes back to consent. Hello, Steph. How you doing? Is it still snowing over in Switzerland? Okay, from the description, it sounds like a way for the World of Empire to properly come alive and have depth. Very much so. It's one of your favourite topics. So, I will touch on mine and Steph's close attempt at BallGowning. But we still do. We still have the personal stuff. It's great. No, raining for the whole week now. That sucks. So, me and this other Navari, we decided we wanted the personal plot, and she was married, I was in a relationship. So we decided that I was going to pursue her, which I did, and everything was good fun, and we did it for a few events. We went out on dates in character, and we had a laugh. Then she said, right, we should get married in character now. It's like, okay. I went and told my other half about this at the time, and she went ballistic. She went absolutely mental at me and said no. I was like, okay, that's fine. The lady in Navarre, who I'm obviously not going to reveal her name, hey, things aren't settled yet. Nothing decided yet. Okay, I still need to beat up Tiny then, do I? So basically, I said I'm coming back to the game and we'll call it off, but she dumped me before I got to the event. It's me dodging a bullet, really was. So I thought, fine, we'll carry on then. So I basically asked her to marry me. She said yes, and we did the whole thing in character. We had an in-character wedding, and it was hilarious. It was great fun. We had a good laugh. So there was lots of stuff can happen with that. So when I say consent, there are more than two people involved in an IC relationship, especially if you both have partners. So in our case, things were okay until the M word got mentioned, in which case things were not okay. So it was going to stop. But obviously we broke up. This all leads to the whole need for communication. Communication is such a big deal, and it's where a lot of people fall down on. That all it takes is for you just to say one thing, and that person just has to say no or okay. So, for example, I really enjoy a bit of BallGowning. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy the personal plot. I enjoy the romantic plot. I enjoy the enemy plot. I enjoy the whole shebang. I'm now married. I don't know if people have noticed. Steve is now married. So, me and Helen, we had this conversation. And some personal plot and BallGowning is fine, some is not. So, it's about not crossing those lines. But with the flip side of that as well, is I know that there are people out there who are in relationships out of character and they want to... I'm sorry, I just realised I'm talking all about this very serious topic, this very serious conversation. I just broke my chair again. And I'm wearing this hat. I know it doesn't come across quite so well, but bear with me. I will take it off, I think. I could... Well, I'll put on a more serious hat. There we go. I'm getting married next Saturday. It's getting real. That's cool. So, yeah, so it all boils down to just that little bit of communication. Being able to turn around and say, this is what I'm doing. And if they say, the hats are helping you concentrate. Good. I hope the hats are helping everybody concentrate. If people would rather I took the hats off, let me know, because I will. If you'd rather I keep the hats on, let me know, because I will. I like how the snowman looks like he's slightly melting. Yeah, bless his cottons. So, when it comes to all of this sort of stuff, there was that conversation. But me and Helen also had the conversation where Helen wanted to be in a relationship in character as well. I didn't. So, doesn't take anything away from us. I absolutely love and adore Helen. That's why we're married. But I don't want to do that in character as well. So, because it's sharing your wisdom with those hats on make it so much more epic and seemingly meaningful. I will leave the hats on then. This is the wise snowman hat. I'll make a point of it in future. I need to say something wise and meaningful. I will put a hat on. But I hope this makes sense for people, where it doesn't really matter if, as long as that communication is there. I mean, not wanting to do that sort of stuff in game with Helen doesn't mean I love her any less at all. It just means that I live with her. I spend all my time with her. It's like that little part of my game. I wanna run off and like get drunk in a bar somewhere and stuff like that. And yeah, and that's all it is. And Helen understood. We had the conversation, and it's meant everything for me personally. I think everything in our game has got a lot better. We're a lot closer in game, and she can actually tell me off. It's great. It's really fun. So I think it's all about having those conversations. So where the good side of it, BallGowning, is you get to explore this side of a game that you wouldn't normally be able to. People want to be able to be. I mean, I'm aware of plots going on like a tri-nation, a trifecta of nations. I think it was the Marches, the League, and Highguard, where it was two guys from one nation. Well, it was one guy from Highguard, one guy from Marches, and the girl. Basically, those two wanted the girl, and they were fighting over her essentially. So it created a lot of drama, lots of chat, lots of personal plot for a lot of people. It got a lot of the nations involved, and it was great fun to witness. I really enjoyed watching. So there's a lot of things like that, but that's the fun part. That's when the whole consent is there, or you're willing to have that sort of conversation with someone just to say, yeah, let's do it, or no, I don't want to do it. If someone says no, it just doesn't happen. Okay, I know I mean that with the utmost sincerity. If someone says no, don't push them. Just don't force it. It just creates animosity, and it's just not fun for anyone involved. So, so there is pressure involved with all of this as well. So I suppose it kind of goes hand in hand with Bleed. So I've done a whole stream on Bleed, and there was a lot of talk on Bleed at the moment. Americans have a very strange idea on Bleed, I found, and it means a different. I got the impression it means a different thing in America than it does over here. So for me, Bleed is just what your character does in character, affecting you away from 6 months. Thank you for subbing. That's awesome. I think I prefer these emote type things. I'll have to get the actual animation sounds changed so they can be more me laughing. But it comes down to so it links into Bleed quite heavily. So where you have if characters are arguing, they're really angry, and your passions are up, doesn't necessarily mean out of character you're gonna be upset and stuff like that. It just then comes back to you it affecting your mindset out of character. Because I am aware of people who have done romance plot, romance personal stuff like that, and that has developed into romance out of character. So that's like a little bit of Bleed, but it leads on to real feelings, and it's a big thing. It leads to affairs. Not always, obviously, but it can do if there are not boundaries set. So I know someone who is doing this in Dawn, in the Brass Coast at the moment. Both parties are in relationships, and they are very much have boundaries written down and in place, and they will not step over those. And it's wonderful to watch. Would you say if you and your OC partner are both okay with each of you BallGowning romance, would you say it's a good idea for everyone involved to have a chance to chat OC first? I would say always chat OC first. Always chat OC. So we'll go for a hypothetical situation. So Dawn's just jumped into chat. There we go. So this is all a hypothetical situation. So because Dawn's married, I'm married. If me and Dawn had decided, right, we wanted to do some icy romance with each other. Bear with me. Bear with me on this. We wanted to do some icy romance with each other. Me and Dawn would have a chat. OC first. What the fuck am I being roped into? Nothing. This is all hypothetical, Dawn. Just bear with me. So me and Dawn would have that conversation first. And we'd go, okay, yeah, it sounds like it could be fun. We'll go and have a chat with our partners. So I come back to Helen, and Dawn comes back to husband face. Helen turns around to me and says, yeah, that's fine. I trust you and I trust Dawn. Husband face turns around and says, I'd rather you didn't. In my personal opinion, that's it done. It's over. It's not happened. It's not happened even before it started. That is the way it should be. That's what it boils down to. Very simply, consent. It's a big thing. If I decided, no, I'm not listening to that, I'm going to do it anyway, I suddenly become I'm the arsehole. And believe me, I am in that situation, I really would be the arsehole. There is not anyone on this planet who would go, no, husband face, you should loosen up a bit. No. He says no, it's done. In a real world situation, just go back to the real world, me and Dawn aren't going to do that. So, I think I have too much respect to put Dawn through it. But I hope that sort of thing makes sense, Carla. It's always talk OC. Immediately go have that OC conversation. And if there are other people involved off to the side, partners, something like that, then you have that conversation with them as well. And that has to be respected. It has to be adhered to. Because if one person says no, and depending on boundaries being crossed, that can be considered emotional cheating if you ignore them. Very, very much so. So, I think the best way to describe that is, so we'll go with the hypothetical again. So me and Dawn, we don't speak to people. We've done that. And say Helen has seen me and Dawn walking around arm in arm. My God, that would be, in Helen's eyes, that would be me cheating. And I would not blame her if she came over and hit me with a tent. She picked up someone and threw them at me. Be well within our rights to do it. It's all about the boundaries, the consent, and having that conversation. It has to be done by a group or a couple of consenting adults. Because it seems where it can get tricky if people don't know each other that well. Yes, I think my experience the first time I did it, where I got married, it didn't end well. So yeah, it really didn't end well. And I think that was down to the fact that me and her, we didn't know each other that well. We became quite close, but yeah, it didn't end well at all. And I'm not going to say that she's to blame. I'm not going to say that I'm to blame. I'm going to say that we're both to blame for that, because we weren't sensible. We didn't have the right sort of conversations. But you learn from these sorts of things. You learn from your mistakes. I hope you learn from your mistakes. But yes, very much so. I think having that conversation while sober as well, draw out a little contract, maybe a contract, or get someone involved, someone else there who knows you both, maybe, just to be involved and just to listen. Give some advice. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Oh dear. Just to be involved in that conversation. Because the last thing that I know for a fact that the last thing anybody I know wants to do is to hurt someone, is to cause any upset or to cause any issues, because it sucks. Simple as. So you may find that you get to know someone in the game. So my BallGowning I tend to take to quite an extreme level. Not with the content or anything like that, but it's like, yeah, I fancy getting married in character. What, to one person? No, 3. Come on, stuff like that. But that's what I mean by it. But I'm quite brash, confident, and to gung-ho, I guess. So I'm going to admit to my fault here. I'm a firm believer in if you do something wrong, you admit it. So yeah, I didn't speak to Helen initially with some stuff, and I just went ahead with some bits, and then we did afterwards speak to it, and stuff's not happening. I got the orders the wrong way round, and I'm a dick for it. So, and I will admit that. So I will always say you must speak to everybody involved. Must speak to everybody involved. Otherwise, things can get a little bit tricky. But for me and Helen and people involved, we're all adults. So there's no bad blood, there's no hard feelings, there's no ill will or anything. So it's quite easy. But yes, I think it could get a lot trickier if you don't know people. So always speak to everyone involved. Always get the boundaries. Always get the consent. And in essence, this is LARP planned, I think is the best way to describe it. You're chatting to someone before an event, during an event, and you're just saying, right, let's do that. Right, how's it going to start? We're going to go off and do this. Let's go for a drink at this bar. I'll meet you there at 7 and we'll do this. That's it. So nice and easy. I really hope that the snowman hat is, really drilling this piece home for everybody, because it is for me. So I think that's always that. But this is BallGowning when it comes to romance and things like that. You also get the fun part of it. I say fun, it's all fun. You also get the other side of things where my current IC relationship predates my OC relationship. Sat down with my partner, non-LARPer, and laid out what it was, what the existing boundaries are, and asked if he was happy with it as is or if there are any issues. Okay, that's interesting. So you were already in an IC relationship with someone before you met your OC partner. So how is your OC partner with it all? Are they okay? Or are there... I suppose there are a lot of questions. Because if they're a non-LARPer, then I suppose it leads to the whole, what the fuck is this? sort of stuff. Hey, Mochi, how you doing? Offered to change things. He was chill. Oh, that's really good. That's lovely to hear. That is lovely to hear that. So was it a case of he just said, I'm not comfortable with A, B, and C, but D, E, F are fine? Was it along those sorts of lines? I'm genuinely curious here. He's now Amazing. That's so cool. He's now considering Empire. I love it. Well, if I can help in any way with that, let me know, and we'll do what we can. Okay. Okay, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. Camera goes a bit blurry there. I like that. I do like that a lot. But I think that's where it comes down to. That's the conversation and stuff like that. So the boundaries we had in place were pretty strict, and he was happy with what was already there. Fantastic. Fantabulous. That's what I like to hear. I think that is where a lot of people are with it. I do hear of people out there who like the BallGowning side of stuff a little bit too much. And they will go off and they'll do it on their own because they enjoy the whole thing. It all just comes down to common decency, clear communication, consent, and respecting boundaries. Solid advice for all human interactions, but very much when it comes to IC and OC relationships. And also respecting that people can change their minds, e.g. if a partner is okay with an IC relationship to start, but as time goes on they realise it's too much for them. Yep, definitely. So if there's anything, we'd have discussed it and changed it as needed. Some people aspire to be as messy as Carrie Bradshaw. I don't know who that is. Oh, I heard people say, "Are you a Carrie?" Is that a Sex in the City thing? Are you a Carrie? Are you a one of the other ones? You've just got to be clear, direct, and concise. Yes, yes, very much so. I think I would think that if yeah, the main girl. I would like to think that if I was doing anything in character, um, and Helen turned around to me and said, I don't want you to do this. Could you stop? I would stop. I wouldn't do it. I mean, to be honest, I'd like to think I'd do that for anybody. I don't want to upset people. I don't want to offend anyone. Also, just realizing that wearing the snowman hat as well, I look like I could be hiding a long mane of hair underneath this hat. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. No. So, yes, it's clear, concise. Turns out, growing up is realizing that Carrie is the villain. So, is she in? Does she go from relationship to relationship? Then is she constantly just all all the different people constantly? Then is that it? I will understand this reference at some point. A mini Marge Simpson haircut underneath the snowman. You know it. So yeah, I think that it's all about like everybody is saying, it's about conversations, it's about being clear, honest, concise, and putting the boundaries in place, having that consent, having everything there. BallGowning, if done right, is so much fun. Is a lot of fun. So, but this is obviously, we're spending a lot of time talking about the relationship side of it. I think, yeah, doing the relationship bits of BallGowning is probably the most common that you'll get out there. People wanting to do, have relationships, get married, do the weddings, and all of that sort of stuff. Um, she's just very self-absorbed and treats her friends like ladies in waiting. And I could do a TED talk. Excellent. So I think that's the big parts of it. But you also get the ones where it's about setting up conflict as well. So with my old character Mac, there was going to be some conflict BallGowning that we had planned, where it was going to end up in a bare knuckle fist fight in the middle of the Glory Square. Things had been agreed with all parties. Things were in place, and we knew what we were going to do. Obviously, sorry, I've got something stuck in my teeth. Obviously, with the cancer for myself, that all sort of like fell out the window. But I'm hoping that next year we can relook at it with my new character, because the familial ties are still there. Outside of the consent type things, are there any other tips on things to avoid when attempting to start BallGowning? Make sure you know the someone. Make sure you know the person. Oh, have I got any mods on? I got 3 on. Do the magic. There we go. I hate trolls. They're just depressing. So make sure you know the person that you're talking to. So I wouldn't ever go up to someone who I didn't know. Well, no, obviously I did, kind of. But make sure you know the person to an extent. They're a friend of a friend, something like that. Outside of the the consent type things. The boundaries are a big. It's a comfort zone as well. So you're not going to sit there and say, right, I want to start a conflict with Bill over there. Let's go and see what that can do for each other. Let's see how far we can take it. Let's see how much trouble we can get in. You are gonna have to stay. It's about staying in your own comfort zone. Yeah, OOC check-ins are big and clever. OOC check-ins I'll touch on in a second. So it's always about staying in your comfort zone. If you are not comfortable with screaming and shouting at someone publicly, and you want your conflict to be a bit more of a private affair with a couple of people around, and they come over and start screaming and shouting at your face in the middle of a group of 50 people, you're not going to be very comfortable. That's going to take you right out of your comfort zone, and you're not going to enjoy it. So it's about having that sort of thing set up as well. So I have had the conflict bit of drama set up, and they said, what am I comfortable with doing? I was like, literally anything. Do whatever you want. Whatever you are comfortable with, we'll go with. And the deal was that I won't... I can't think of the word. I won't make it bigger than what it is. I won't exacerbate the issue. So I won't... So they come in and scream at me in front of 50 people. I'm not going to go over to them in the middle of their national meeting and call them out and stuff like that. While it would be huge drama for everybody involved, I'm not going to do that. That's bigger than what I think a lot of people could handle. So there's a lot of things going on like that. So that would be a big thing. Don't go too far out of your own comfort zone. Think about what you're comfortable with and what you want to get out of it, because that's a huge part of it. Because you want to end up having a big fight with someone, that's great, that's fine, but you want to have the fight with someone where you walk off into the trees with both your groups and you have a bit of a duel, and then that's it done with. The other person might be thinking, I want to get the whole nation involved, I want the militia there, I want a magistrate to watch, I want the egregores to know, and all of this sort of stuff. Two very different ideas. If you do the little bit, but they go whole hog, you're not going to enjoy it when you turn up thinking, oh, this is going to be good. Both groups of friends and stuff like that. We'll have some fun with it. And then there's like 100 people stood there, egregores, militia, magistrates. Not going to be fun. Really not going to be fun. Be aware you might feel things that... Let me scroll. Let me scroll back up for that one. Be aware that you might feel things that likely feel very real or might be very real. Take time to decompress from them and set them apart from you and your character. Take sense of self, but it's good thing. But it's a good thing to have a LARP, let alone BallGowning. Yes, huge thing. So this goes back to bleed, what I was talking about. The feelings that your character feel, you are essentially mistaking as to be your own feelings. So if you are doing a relationship bit of stuff, your character, you might say that your character loves them. Our character, are you in love with them, that person? No. If you are, well, I say no. I say more than likely not. Instead of after an event messaging them constantly and stuff like that, take some time to yourself. Do your little come down from an event, decompress, have your kebab, have your beer, have your time to yourself, ignore the world for a time, and then have a conversation with someone else and then go from there. Okay, I promise you that is probably some of the best advice that you'll get. Like Panda has said, decompress. You don't want to mix up your feelings, your emotions, because it can cause issues across the board. It really can. So, wrong mouse. I'd love to set up a bit of ball. So I've got to learn how to read. I'd love to set up a bit of BallGowning, where a group of winter markers taking it upon themselves to frequent a tavern in each of the nations in an attempt to beat them all at a drinking game. To be confirmed, they're still thinking of that one, as it would be fun, inclusive, and in keeping with the Empire setting. We'd need to spend time talking to each nation, tavern owners beforehand, of course. It's an interesting one, that. I'm going for a light-hearted approach to begin with. Yep, very much so. Does it count as BallGowning as well if you play up emotional family stories because it's also relationships, or would you say that the term is more about romance only? No, I said at the start, it's not just romance. You've got the familial ties as well. You've got the enemies. You've got all of this sort of stuff that goes on as well. My comments are very wordy. Sorry. No, don't apologise. I think it can include familial and friend conflict. 100%. Massively it can. So I will say the pub crawl idea, it gets done a lot. It really does. And it's a good way of getting people together. It's not so much BallGowning, it's more you're making connections. It's getting people involved in the game. You're making connections with other nations. You're getting to know other people. You're helping build the economy within the Empire, because it's shit right now. So you are getting a lot of people involved in stuff. What you will find from that is, as you are going around and you visit all of the nations, you will want to spend more time in certain places. You will build up other connections within those nations, and that will or can lead to you wanting to do other pieces of plot. So yeah, it's probably not so much BallGowning in the traditional sense of the word, I guess. It's more of you're getting people together. You're doing a really good thing in getting a load of people, a big group together to go off and do stuff. Because the big thing in Empire is a lot of people going, I don't know what to do. How do I do this? So you doing that, and you've not even been, just going, want to go and do this. That's great. Wonderful. Can I help with that? Let me know. I will put you in. I've got a pub. Let me know, because we can do it all. We can do it all. But yeah, there's a lot of tavern owners in there. There's actually a Facebook group as well. So when it comes to the family side of things, so a good way, because I know we're sticking to Empire a lot, but if we look at what Nick and the group I'm joining at CP, they have created a big family story around them all. Also, the competition element between Wintermark and the other nations, making sure they want to play and are willing for competition. Yes, yeah, you could set stuff up there. So, like the bar we've got, the Grapevine, or the Rowdy Raven, whatever you want to call it. That's the name of our newspaper, actually. There's a pub in Highgard called the Grapevine. So the two people had a little conversation together, and they've set up a little bit of needle between the groups and stuff. So yeah, you have that as well. So the family side of stuff, so for CP, the entire group they sat down and they decided, this is our group's backstory. I'm not going to go into detail because it's current CP plot that I will be jumping into in May. It's got bells on it. Oh. Yeah. I just noticed that. So when it comes to the family side of it, so they've got their own little pieces of plot, and They've got individuals who have put into it in from different angles of this is what we're doing, and it's going to impact everybody in a certain way. Is it national plot in the game? No. It's just family plot. People know about it. They want to keep it secret, so they're going to do it. It's like when my character turns up, will I be involved in any of the big stuff? No. I'm going to be too dumb to do that. But I am involved in the families, some of the little family bits of plot, because I have brought my own into it. And it's all drama there. I'm just a bit dumb. So that is all BallGowning as well. That has 20 people involved. And we're all going to sit around, not talk about it, and it's just going to create a bit of needle until someone says something dumb. I look absolutely adorable in this. I really do. I've got 2 drinks next to me, and I keep looking over and thinking, do I want orange juice or do I want mead? I've got both. I was given a bottle of black cherry mead, and I'll tell you, it is absolutely delicious. Right, let's go and read McBale Jr.'s comments. I could obviously, you could have it very wrong, and like you say, it's just a fun way to make connections. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, very much so. There is, out of that idea, there is no downside. Out of all of the stuff that people want to do to create bits of personal plot and stuff like that, it's going to create a bit of game as long as that boundary is in place. Very much as long as that boundary is in place. You don't want to fuck people off. The personal plot I've got going on at the moment is an icy marriage at its heart, but there is an inter-house rivalry with people leaving one house in Dawn to set up a new one. Lots of feelings of betrayal and drama. Nice. My icy partner's family, a third house, who shipped her off as a kid to be fostered, are joining the field day. Wow. So we've got 3 houses jostling with each other. Lots of family drama and marriage. So much fun. That sounds epic. That sounds like so much fun. You're going to have a great time. So that is a great example of BallGowning. The marriage, that's always drama, filled with drama and stuff. Then you've got 3 families, and you've got the backstory of one of the kids being essentially given up for fostering. It's just like, that's going to cause a lot of drama there. Oh, I look forward to hearing about a scrap at some point, I hope. Oh, that is so good, that mead. It really is lovely. So yeah, so that's really, really good. It's one of the reasons as well why I love. So in the league, you got the Crimson Reapers. Nick, Tiny, Bolam, Steph, Emily. There's a few others there as well who I forget the name of. You've got the Master of Hearts, I think it is, and a few other people involved. They have created a wonderful atmosphere up there. I will say this to everybody. If you want to see and go and be and just to be around a really good, tight group of people who know what they're talking about, who know what they're doing, and are really good. I said really good a lot there. And I've only had one sip of mead, but they're really good. Go up to the Reapers in the league. Go and sit down with them when they're having a little party, have a little drink, and just have a chat to them all. Because they're really good. Shut up, Steve. Because they're really good people. They are a lot of fun to be around. So I recommend it. You can't miss them. They're red and black, big hats. The hats aren't as good as mine, obviously, but they are still there. So I think that when it comes to the BallGowning side of it, it's you get out of it what you want, basically. Well, the 2 people or the 2 groups of people, you get out of it what you want. You just need to make sure that chat is had first. So it's really easy to do. have those conversations, have stuff set in place, but also have the understanding that if someone is unhappy, something goes wrong, someone is uncomfortable in that situation, they can turn around and go, I don't like it, I don't want to be involved. So I have done this. Many of us love a good BallGowning. Yes, you do, and you do it so well. You really do. Forgot what I was saying. Completely forgotten. Yeah, it's completely gone. Oh well, never mind. So, yeah, so I just think it's a case of, oh yeah, so if you aren't happy with something that's going on, you need to also make sure that there is a way of, you like halfway through, you can turn around and say, no, don't want to do it. And everyone has to accept that it stops. You can't just keep on going. You might not just be able to just end it there and then. It'll be a conversation to be had of, right, how are we ending this? How are we going to bring this to a stop? How are we going to resolve this all amicably or not amicably? You could decide that this whole thing, little bit of personal plot has to end now. Let's end it with a scrap. Let's end it with, I don't know, us hating you for a week, for a couple of events or something like that. So our group had a little bit of personal plot. Have you experienced any wedding betrayals at the altar? About 3. They're hilarious. They are great. They are a lot of fun to do. They're all planned. One of them ended in death. That was great. I really enjoyed that one. One of them ended when... Oh, red wedding style. No. There was a threat of a red wedding style thing at a Wintermark wedding. But they were told... people were told this. So all of like the heavy hitters and the fighters were sat there, armed, at the back, keeping an eye on everything going on around it. So if anyone turned up to cause any trouble, they wouldn't have got to the wedding. So, but the best one that I ever saw was, funnily enough, it was in Urizen, and the wedding happened, and it was all really nice. The last Empress's wedding nearly turned into a red wedding. Ugh. Yeah, that was good though. I mean, Elisabetta should have married Achilles. But Achilles got murdered, like the noob he was. So that was good. It was good though. It was all lovely. It was all really well planned. Yeah, so they were at the altar and they were doing their things and stuff, and I'm stood at the back watching, heckling a little bit because that's what I do. And then they said to him, "Do you take so and so to be your partner for life?" And he was just like, "Yes, I do." And turned to her and said, "Do you take so and so to be your partner for life?" And she went, "No, I love him." And he was like, "Oh." I was just like, oh my God. Carried on drinking. But that was really good. It was phenomenal. It was so nice the way it was done. The arguments, the shouting, the families, the groups asking everybody to leave. It was good. It was really, really good. The drama was really nice. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I wasn't even invited. Yeah, well, I could tell a story of a BallGowning going from IC to OC relationship. Could call it bleed at first sight, but everything very well communicated, slow and set boundaries and everything. Ooh, that's interesting. I'd like to hear that. Sounds hilarious. It was great. Those sorts of things, when planned right, I know a lot of people who do set BallGowning up to fail. just because they want that big piece of drama at the end of the day. And it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. I just realised I've done all of this and I haven't put any music on at all. Shall I put some music on? Stream stuff. Right, let's... So I think last time I put this on, we had like 80 something tracks on it. Wow. It's up to 120 now. Oh, what? Who's put Diggy Diggy Hole on there twice? Oh dear, what are you like? Yeah, I'm not... Oh, wait a minute. Is that the proper version? Oh, see, I have to put it on now. Someone's put Bewitched on there. Sorry, a plane just flew overhead and it's quite low. Right, let's see how loud it is. Can we hear that? Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Or is it just right? I don't think I've changed any of the settings on it, so... Yeah. So whoever put Bewitched on, I am grateful. Is good. Seems good. Lovely. At first sight, sounds like an early 2000s emo bands. Say goodbye. No, I can't sing along because I will get a DMCA strike against me. Yeah, I would love to hear about that one, Steph. With a snow background, I think we need you to grab a winter coat and stay another day. Wow. Oh dear. Oh, this mead is so nice. Yeah, it's... I mean, there are two sides. I mean, I think because I'm just looking at the time, there are two sides to BallGowning. There are some of it. It's a 50-50. Some of it is really good. It's really, really good if it's done well. If it's done wrong, oh god, the pain it will cause is... It's going to be... It's atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. I just realised this could be nipples. Really high up nipples. So, always get everything written down and sorted first. If someone says no, that's it. Please, please, for the mother of fuck, please leave it there. If someone doesn't want to do it, isn't interested, that's it, it's done. Don't force them. It only creates animosity. If someone is interested in doing it, I'm literally in therapy because of someone else's bleed. Oh my god. That's wank. That's... Ah. See, that makes me angry. That just makes me angry. That does. So, for those who don't know Miss Bennett, she is a very talented artist and she is a lovely human being as well. Yeah, so that really has made me annoyed. Right, let's... No, I can't threaten violence on people. BallGowning chat and Bewitched and Snowman hat equals best kind of fever dream. Thank you. Won't say when it was on stream. It sucks. I'm getting through it. If you ever need a chat, same goes for everyone. I'm always here. I'm always about. But yeah, oh dear, oh dear. That really is bad. Well, I would need to check in with the other half first. Mutant role model was also. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, of course it was. I knew this. I'm so thick. Yeah. So yeah. So Steph's other half is a rather famous individual in the league, but he can introduce himself. I think this is on random now, so I don't know what's coming on. I was tempted to put on a certain Wham Christmas song on the list as well. You know, just for shiggles. But won't say what it was on stream. It sucks. Yeah, that's just. But the whole thing, though. What is this? Oh right, okay. So yeah, the whole thing is just about doing that. So you get the good, you get the bad. So the bad is no consent, doing it whatever you want, not checking in on someone, always check in on someone, even if it's all been arranged. If Diggy Diggy Hole comes on, I'll fall off my chair laughing. Well, I hope you'd enjoy it. Knock on wood, yeah. I had a quick look. Always check in on people, even if everything is sorted. No one knows we're super secretive about it. Are you? You are terrible at secrets then. It's if everything is on the up and up and everything has been planned and that you will still get you can still get emotional role play and it can still Wham roulette. Listening to your stream be worth getting sent to Wham Halla. It happened to me like on the first Saturday of December when I was in Sainsbury's. Yeah, we love Bowen. It's kind of a big deal. Not as big as Messi, but you know, still. Yeah, so it's if you're doing any form of this and you have an intense moment, like if it's a fight, a screaming match, lovers tiff, wedding, anything like that, when you're done with it, always check in. Just find someone on your own. Just go over and just like, you alright? Everything good? Hug it out. Always hug it out, and then just crack on, because that is what's needed. If you cause someone to go into therapy because you've done BallGowning wrong, then maybe LARP isn't for you. That's extreme, but yeah, you've hurt someone so much that you've caused that. That's just wrong on too many levels. It really, really is. Fucking hell. So, yeah, my mind's all over the place now. The music has done it to me. Do you have any final questions? Any questions about it? About Bleed that anyone like really wants to know or anything? There are no stupid questions, just stupid people. That is the best quote I will ever get from South Park. Was it Mr. Garrison to Cartman? There are no. Oh no, was it to Kyle? There are no stupid questions, Kyle. Just stupid people. Oh dear, oh dear. So, but yeah, always check in. Always get. So yeah, that should be it. Just consent, boundaries, check in. Don't be a dick. That's the big rule in life. Don't be a dick. You need to imagine the director shouting "cut" in your head when the game comes to an end. Yes. Yeah, very much so. I think a lot of people take a lot of stuff to heart. I'm guilty of it as well. If someone shouts at me something in game or stuff like that, it does take me a while to go, no, Steve, they don't hate you. That's the anxiety in me. So, no, Steve, they don't hate you. If I scream and shout at you, I've been told I'm an intimidating person. Simple. What to do when there's unwelcome bleed. So what do you mean unwelcome bleed? Do you mean someone has like tried to do something that you don't want? So like unwelcome roleplay that potentially lead into the bleed? Or you'll have to I'm not too sure I understand, Steph. Or if someone else does, please explain. What's this? Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff to it. Unwelcome bleed. I mean, a lot of bleed is unwelcome anyway, because it just drags you down. But I suppose you get the flip side of it, where you get bleed that just leaves you on a high. Can we turn down the tunes a touch? We've gone a little rocking. I'm losing your voice. How's that? Is that better? Better. Wonderful. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff to it. I think if someone is pushing a bit of role play, what if you underestimated? Right, I see. So you've had a bit of an intensive bit of role play with someone, and you've left it. So let's go. Example being, so two role players, they want to do romantic stuff, but they have planned to have this big falling out at the end of an event. They've had a massive argument and they've gone their separate ways, bit of tears and stuff like that, and they've walked off. They've then sat down at the end of the event and they don't want to look at each other. They're crying their eyes out. That would be what I would consider to be heavy bleed. I would always say, if you are comfortable with the other person, always talk. Always talk. If you are struggling to look at them, talk to them, believe me, it happens. It really does. Get someone else to go over. Someone who you know, someone you trust. It's all about that checking in at that point. Because if they suddenly realise as well that you are feeling the same, it's just about getting people together, have that conversation, check in, and establish that this is just a game, an intense game. It's just a game. We can do better. We're not actually angry, upset with you, and then you can go on from there. So I think that is a massive thing to do. And it's not easy either. It really isn't easy. It's always about taking that first step. It's always about trying to be a strong individual, I guess, when it comes to it. Trying to be an adult when it comes down to things. If I get angry and I'm upset at people and stuff, there are people I know who will always tell me if I'm being dumb. I'm really lucky with Helen, my wife, because if I'm being stupid about something, she'll tell me. I'm really lucky with my friends, because if I'm being dumb about something or over emotional or something like that, they'll tell me. I'm really lucky with people like, well, everybody here really. So like Dawn, Panda, they will all tell me if I'm being stupid about something. They won't make me feel like an idiot, but they'll just go, your feelings are valid, a little bit dumb. So these are all things that can happen. Always talk. Always talk. Always ask. If you are at home and you just don't know, or your feelings have really taken a bit of a battering and you don't know what to do, it's a case of find someone to talk to. The Discord's there. Chuck a message to someone. I'll be about. Anybody will be about. Just say, I'm really struggling with bleed at the moment and I'm going to jump into chat. Does anybody fancy distracting me? I guarantee you'll have 20 people in there. And then everybody will come and talk to you. You want advice on how to do BallGowning? Go and ping Steph a message. She loves it. Ping any of the Reapers a message. They all love it. It all comes back to the fact that this is meant to be fun. But this fun can be quite intense as well. It's like when you play a computer game, you get emotionally involved with some of the characters. So I will say, for example, I haven't completed Baldur's Gate 3 yet. I think I've just started Act 3, so I'm nowhere in it really. Or Final Fantasy 7. I played that when it first came out, and as a little boy, when that first came out, I think I was like 15 or 16, maybe a bit younger. Yep, I am that old. And I watched everything were going on, and because everybody loves Tifa for some reason, I don't get it. It must be the boobs, must be. My favourite was always Aerith, and I was always romantically involved with Aerith to start off with, and I got all the way through, and then obviously she's killed. That's not a spoiler. The game's been out for like nearly 30 years. And I was, cried my eyes out. Really cried my eyes out when that happened. So, it's the same with roleplay. It's a game, but it affects you. It really, really does. So, I hope that answered that question, Steph. I really do. I really do. So, oh, it's not on random anymore. There you go. Now it's on random. There you go. I'm going to put this on because it's a good song. So, yeah. So I think that's a good place to end it there. So I feel like shit. I feel rough as hell right now. I wasn't going to stream, but I thought I'd ask and see what people thought, and love all the snowman wisdom. You're welcome. You're welcome. This has been a lot of fun. So I wasn't going to stream, but I'm glad I did. I feel revitalized. I feel like crap still. Don't get me wrong, but I do feel a lot happier with everything. I think, yeah. Thank you. So we're lucky. I say we're lucky. On Sunday, this Sunday, we have a bonus stream. We have myself, Dolly, pretty certain Bolum, and maybe Beth, but I think Beth is going to the Warhammer museum place. We're going to be streaming on Wednesday. We are going to be doing a commentary and reaction stream to Digby playing poker for the Yogscast on Sunday. So we're going to be watching that and giving a reaction. We'll be wearing Christmas jumpers. I'll be wearing a Christmas hat as well. We'll be drinking wine, and we'll be having a laugh with it all. So come along and join us. We'll be raising money for Digby's Jingle Jam thing on Tiltify, which all goes to the Jingle Jam. He is raising money specifically for War Child, to help all the kiddie winkles in Ukraine. So we have got all that going on as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. So yeah, me, Dolly, and Bolum, maybe Beth. I think there's a chance that Bolum might not be able to do it as well, but we'll find out. So yeah, Wednesday should be a lot of fun. Right, Digby is Oh, wow. Digby is streaming. I have said to him, because of what he is doing, we will be raiding him anytime I stream. Be difficult to raid him on Sunday, though, because he's not here. But we'll be watching him. So go and give him some love. Even if you just pop in, say hi, and then piss off again. That's fine too. But go and give him some love. And I'll see you all on. I'll see a lot of you on Sunday. Bring some wine. Take care, everyone. Have a good evening.